telescope is an extension of its owner that allows us to peer into the universe to see nature on the grandest scale, with wonders that boggle the imagination.
Hey, this is Galaxy Log for April of 2025. I had two nights. The first night was with the smaller telescope, the 8.2-inch Dob. The second night was with the 20-inch Dob. So yeah, this is the shorter night. And the first galaxy, it's actually a couple galaxies in this field, but the main galaxy is NGC 3665 in Ursa Major. Here's where NGC 3665 is located. Close-up view of the field for 3665, fairly easy star hop. And here's the near view image. First, the particulars. NGC 3665 is a pretty bright galaxy at 10.8 magnitude, high surface brightness, decent size. Here's its type, its distance. The second galaxy in the field is 3658, much dimmer galaxy. Lower surface brightness, smaller. Here's its type and its distance. You can see that they're similar distance. Exactly, pretty much exactly the same distance, especially in astronomical terms. But obviously, 3665 is the larger galaxy, larger and of course much brighter galaxy. For this near view image, the telescope is an 8.2-inch f3.9 Dob. The eyepiece is a 7mm, gave me 160 magnification. Sky conditions were good. At times it was better, but I think when I did this view, it was one of the first views of the night. The sky conditions was good, but not great. Here's 3665. It showed a slightly oval shape to it, much brighter inner region, and a fairly bright stellar nucleus. It stood out pretty well. 3658 was much smaller, a bit harder to see. It was a roundish patch, a little bit maybe of a stellar nucleus sticking in and out at times, a good seeing. Here's a survey image of the two galaxies, and you can see that 3665 is a much larger and brighter galaxy. A nice star field. It stood out in a nice star field, so having the two galaxies in the same field of view was pretty cool. Okay, the next galaxy was a little later on in the night is the great galaxy M63. Here's where the galaxy is located. Closer view of the field of M63. And here's the new view image. You can see it's a very bright galaxy. It's one of the brightest galaxies in the spring sky at 8.6 magnitude. Decent surface brightness. It's large. Type and its distance. For the near view with the 8.2-inch Dob was 11mm eyepiece. It gave me 74 magnification. And as I said with the previous galaxies, sky conditions were good. I thought maybe a little bit better than earlier on. And when I was viewing this too, this was like straight up. So there was a lot less atmosphere to look through. So the galaxy just stood out really well with the 11mm eyepiece. A bright stellar nucleus, a very large, bright inner region of the galaxy, and a large oval disk that was modeled. Really a beautiful view. Here's an image of M63. A lot of structural detail can be seen. And that's what you can see here is the modeling of the scene in the disk of the galaxy. But yeah, I mean, this is just a great galaxy to go for if you have a smaller telescope. The second night was April 27th, and it's subtitled Longer Night. Yeah, it was a good long night with the 20-inch Dob. First galaxy is NGC 3769 in Ursa Major. Here's where the galaxy is located within the constellation. Closer up field of NGC 3769. And here's a near view image. And as you can see, there's another galaxy, and it's actually a companion galaxy, NGC 3769A. So for particulars, 3769 is a fairly bright galaxy, 11.8 magnitude, pretty good surface brightness at 12.8, decent size, its type, its distance. The companion galaxy is 3769A is much fainter at 14 magnitude, 14.2 magnitude. Surface brightness 13. It's small, there's its type, and of course the same distance being a companion of 3769. For the near view image, the telescope was the 20-inch f3.3 Dob. Eyepiece is 6.5 millimeter, gave me 297 magnification. The sky conditions were excellent, both transparency and seeing. In fact, this is probably one of the best nights I've had at this dark site in a long time. So for the near view, 3769 showed a very large, bright inner region, a bit mottled. No stellar core stood out. It's extended very, very well. It seemed on the northwestern side extended a little bit better, and at times good seeing. At the very tip of the galaxy, it seemed like there was a slight brightening to it. And if you look at the this image of the galaxy, you can see that little bit brightening at the tip of the galaxy. And it would come and go with seeing, especially with averted vision. The companion galaxy, 3769A, was a slightly elongated glow with a fairly, I'd say the central region didn't stand out real well, but it was brighter towards the center of the galaxy. No stellar nucleus or something like that, but it made for a really good view of these two galaxies together in space. Next galaxy is NGC 4102 in Ursa Major, and this is one of my favorite views of the night, if not my favorite view. Here's where the galaxy is located in Ursa Major. There's the field for NGC 4102. It's a fairly easy star hop. And here's the near view image. First particulars, it's a bright galaxy at 11.2 magnitude, fairly good surface brightness, decent size, its type, and its distance. For the near view image with the 20-inch f3.3 Dob, the eyepiece is a 3.7 millimeter, it gave me 521 power, and as I mentioned, sky conditions are excellent. That's why I used the 3.7 and was able to get a really great view of this galaxy. Galaxy showed some really interesting detail at this magnification in this telescope. Little stellar nucleus surrounded by this bright, slightly oval central region of the galaxy. And it had a little bit of modeling. And then this looked like almost a ring around the galaxy, around the core of the galaxy. And you can kind of see that in this photograph of the galaxy, where it has this bright inner region, it's elongated, and then what seems like a ring around it. I was seeing that with this telescope and this magnification. A little bit of modeling on the outer parts of the galaxy, which was really neat. But the whole view was stunning actually in the 3.7 millimeter eyepiece in the 20-inch telescope. I really took my time viewing this galaxy with this eyepiece, and the moments where seeing just really snapped in. It was really good seeing. The stars were just nice and crisp and pinpoint around it. Detail in the galaxy really popped out, and it really stood out as just a grand view of the night. Our next galaxy is NGC 4389, Venatici. Here's where the galaxy is located. Here's our view of the field of 4389. And here's a near view image. The galaxy is fairly bright, 11.7 magnitude, decent surface brightness. Small galaxy, tight, its distance. The near view image with a 20-inch f3.3 Dob, the eyepiece is 6.5 millimeter, gave me 297 magnification. As I was saying, sky conditions this night, it's really, really good. And, gave a really neat view of this galaxy. And it's an interesting little galaxy. Has this bright, very thin inner region, and then this kind of elongated oval shape, but these blunt ends like that stood out pretty well. And you can see that in this image of the galaxy where it has this bright inner core region, then these blunt ends. It's kind of like it's a face-on galaxy. That's what it looks like. It's like a face-on bar spiral, very unusual look to it. Field was real nice. Star images with the galaxy made for a really nice view. But it is a neat little galaxy, and I'd like to go for it again with high magnification. But this view was real nice, and it's a neat little galaxy to go for. Next is NGC 3949 and NGC 3950 in Ursa Major. In my previous galaxy log, I did NGC 3949 with my 12-inch f4 Dob, but wasn't able to see a much dimmer background galaxy much farther away at background galaxy 3950. And I do mention that in that galaxy log that if I had my 20-inch out, I'd go for it again, see if I can see this very distant, over billion light year galaxy 3950. So here's the near view image of the two galaxies. And first, I got a really great view of 3949 with the 12-inch, but the 20-inch really brought out a lot of detail. It really looked good. I used the 6.5 millimeter eyepiece. As I said, it's close to 300 power, 297. But this really gave a really nice view of the foreground galaxy, a lot of detail, and it stood out really well comparative to the 12-inch from the previous one. But my quest was to see NGC 3950, which is pushing 16th magnitude, 15.7, fairly high surface brightness. It's tight, and of course its distance is over 1 billion light years. So here's an image to give you an idea of where the galaxy is located. Right here is 3950, and the near view image, there it is. It stood out. The little stellar, like a star, like a very faint star with a slight haze around it. You can see where the star images around it, some of the fainter stars around it were pinpoint, and 3950 had this just slight fuzziness to it, surrounded with its dim stellar nucleus. So I was able to see it in the 20, which was really neat. I will have to say that in the previous galaxy log that I mentioned, we were looking at it with a 25-inch f4, but who a friend owns nearby. But the sky conditions that night weren't as good as what this night was. So the 20-inch was able to see it fairly easily with this magnification. This was the final view of the night. And this final view had 3 galaxies and a quasar and Draco. And galaxies were NGC 4291, 4319, 4386, and the quasar Mercurian 205. For the near view image, with the 20-inch f3.3 Dob, was a new eyepiece of 14 millimeter, gave me 138 magnification. And as I mentioned, the sky conditions were excellent. In fact, in this part of the sky at this dark side is the best part of at that dark side. And this really gave a great view of the 3 galaxies and the quasar. There's an annotated version of so you can actually see which galaxies they are which. It's NGC 4386 is right here. NGC 4291, NGC 4319, and the quasar right here. Take away that. And but this was just a really great view of these three galaxies and the quasar. And I'll probably go back to these three and individually discuss each one with higher magnification. But this last view with this eyepiece of seeing these three galaxies together in a really nice star field, and then of course the quasar, made for a really great final view of the night on a really good night of observing. Okay, this is a summary of this galaxy log. First, the dark site, and this is the dark site I use the most. It's about a 30-35 minute drive north of me. It's got pretty good elevation for this area. Here's a view from Google Earth at night. Dark site. It's rated at Bortle 4. That first night, it was with the 8.2-inch Dob. It was a good, like I mentioned. It was a good night. Transparency was pretty good. Seeing was pretty good. So it was just rated as a good night. The second night, though, with the 20-inch, was an excellent night, both in transparency and seeing. The telescopes, the first one is, for the first night, was the Bresser 8.2-inch at 3.9 Dob. Nice mid-sized compact telescope, has really good optics in it. And the second night is the Waite Renegade 20-inch at 3.3 Dob. Great telescope, great optics. For eyepieces, for the view of NGC 3665 was the Celestron 7mm XL LX eyepiece. For the view of M63 was a TeleVue 11mm Nebula Type 1, old classic, rare eyepiece. That gave really good views of M63 with the 8.2-inch Dob. For the view of NGC 3769, NGC 4389, and NGC 3949 and 3950. There's the Batter 6.5 Morpheus. Great eyepiece. These eyepieces this eyepiece line is really, really good. What an amazing view of NGC 4102 is with a TeleVue 3.7 Ethos. And for that last view, and in the new eyepiece, is the Batter 14mm Morpheus. And just gave a really great wide field view with the 20-inch of those three galaxies and the quasar. It was a great way to end the night with this new eyepiece. And that's it for this galaxy log. Clear dark skies and happy galaxy observing.